Stand the
Well,
stage.
good afternoon or good evening if you're in the beautiful USA, or if you're overseas, it's already sassy Saturday morning. So thank you for joining. And I am the guy in the blue shirt, as I'm known on LinkedIn, or my method is Mr. Simpler, Faster, Better. And I am honored to do my inaugural up and coming racing driver interview with the amazing Tom Baker. So, Tom, over to you first, and then perhaps you can introduce Brandon for us, and we'll have a wonderful chit chat about what Brandon's up to and tearing it up on the racetrack there. So,
Sure. Well, thank you for having us, Bruce. We appreciate being on the show and the opportunity to talk with you. I am not the up and coming racer.
no, you're
The up
not.
and coming racer is the young man who is to my right on your screen. That is Brandon Hanks from Mumford, Tennessee. He is mid-20s and married with a young son and a well of a 410 sprint car racer who's had a very interesting background from farming to racing and throwing a jackhammer around during the day even. So happy to be with you guys, and happy that you had some interest in talking with Brandon about his career.
Oh, I love, so welcome, Brandon. And I love high potential leaders and young men that have done things that I would have loved to have done when I was in my 20s, Brandon. So I was a late starter into the _Sk_Barber Racing School program. So, and I got the Alexandra Rossi shirt out for you. How about that?
Yeah, so that's awesome. I love it.
You're also
for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. You're also going to be best man tomorrow, right?
I'm best man tomorrow at the wedding. That's actually where I'm at this church right now. I was telling you guys just off air that I'm best man, my best friend's wedding tomorrow morning, and I was really upset when he told me that the wedding of their wedding date was January 15th, because I knew in my head, I said, I'm almost 100% positive that's Chili Bowl week. And sure enough, I looked it up and it was Chili Bowl. So, but it's all good. It's all good.
all good. Yeah. Lots of opportunities. So, hey, it might prevent you from eating too much chili. You never know, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, well, good. Yeah, may not make the sprint car go any faster if you eat too much chili.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm trying to do a little better these days too.
Okay, well, that's awesome. So yeah, so tell us a little bit about your background and what what you see 2022 looking like, and particularly from a potential leadership and development program. And I know Tom helps you with that. So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're looking forward to this year.
Well, my background. So I'll try to shorten it up much as I can. So my family, none of them raced, at least legally.
Right.
I take that back. My dad did a little bit of truck pulling in the mid '90s, so he did that for a little bit. But my family was these big NASCAR fans, and they would try to make 4 or 5 NASCAR races a year sometimes, and some IndyCar races whenever they'd go to Indianapolis, and
right.
So they were big race fans, but nobody ever really tried to pursue. Now my dad did have a chance to drive a super late model when he was about my age.
Wow.
But he got a call. We were actually talking about this at lunch the other day. He got a call to drive this super late model, and they worked things out like, I'm going to work on the car and you drive it. That's all you got to do. Just show up and drive. That's all I want you to do. And so 3 months goes by, and race time's getting close, and Dad had never heard from this guy again. And then he finally called him one day, and he asked him about it. He said, man, I'm getting a divorce and I'm losing everything. I had to sell the race car stuff and everything. So what could have been, because my dad still is very talented driver. So, who knows where that could have went had he gotten a chance. But so no, and he didn't have the money. My grandparents didn't have the money. We don't come from money, that's for sure. But he just never really had a chance. None of them did. I got my opportunity. Dad got into farming and did pretty well for himself, kind of built things up. And I've never gone without. He's always provided a good life for me. So 2005, we had a go-kart track close by, and my granddad told him to take me over. I was a big race fan too, watching NASCAR on TV every week, but I didn't know, I didn't know how those guys got there. I was about 9 years old, and my granddad told my dad, "Why don't you take him over there to the go-kart track and just see how he likes it." And we had a go-kart the next day in the garage, so it came about pretty quick. So that was really how it got started. But as far as this year, how I'm looking, I'm looking forward to this year because I'm optimistic. We had a lot of speed on the table for sure last year. Towards the end, we found some things with our car and we were just getting better, and I was getting more confident. We've really started to find our way there towards the end of the year, and then the year ended, and just kind of left us hanging. So I'm looking forward to getting back in the car because I really believe we're going to have some speed. Now we are going to be going up against the Outlaws quite a bit, especially early on. So we've got our work cut out for us, but I'm really interested to see if we can take what we learned and how it'll compare to the guys that do it for a living,
Right. Well, I feel the need for speed for you, I think, from the Top Gun movie. So, but great example, Brandon, of letting people know that, it's not always plain sailing. There's always some adversity along the way. So good for you for sticking at it. So, so for those of us that are not aware, what's the speed range? What are you looking at when you're on the track with your latest car? So what sort of speeds are you hitting?
It depends. So with dirt, with dirt racing, our track changes so constantly. It's always changing. Every time when you come off the track from practice, when you go back out for a heat race, it's probably changed quite a bit. On average, I would say if you go to a 3/8 mile racetrack and the track's hooked up, I'd say you're probably looking at about 120, 130. But it just depends on how big the track is.
Yeah.
I don't know how true it was, but I had somebody tell me that we did up somewhere around 140 or something like that at Belleville, Kansas, and that was a 5/8 mile racetrack. So I'm really not sure. Nobody's ever. There's no speedometer in our car. That's probably a good thing. So.
Right. Well, there's not a lot of anything in your car other than a stiffened aluminum frame and a big ass motor, right?
Yeah, dang right. It's the only thing we have to look at is a water temperature gauge and an oil pressure gauge. That's all I need to do. I need to make sure the engine's running right and just stand in the gas.
Yeah. So for people that want to feel the need or the thrill for speed, then get out there and support Brandon and watch some dirt track racing. So, so Tom or Brandon, you can answer this. How many races are you supporting this year in 2022?
Well, the plan right now is we're looking at about 18 races right now. I have one 410 engine. We had a 360 engine, but the 360 decided to let go on us at the Hockett Memorial last year. And we're trying to raise a little bit of money, maybe put it back together. We might sell it. We've talked about maybe getting another 410 if the cards fell right. But right now we only have the one, so we're probably just going to run about 18 races or so. It'll be amongst some War of Outlaw races, Power Ride, and the All Stars.
Right. So when you say a 410 motor, tell us a little bit more about that in layman's terms, because that would be helpful.
Well, a 410, so they've changed a little bit over the years, but we're looking, they're all aluminum, heads, everything, they're all aluminum, and they put out some serious horsepower. I don't know what the torque is. I can't remember the torque, but our horsepower range you're looking at anywhere from 950 to 1,000 now. These guys have really put a lot of work into these engines now, and man, they really put out some power. And it's only getting faster. So I've had people ask me if you know, they would ever consider slowing our cars down, maybe make the racing a little better.
Right.
I don't really know how that would make the racing any better, but
Right.
my thing is if you have more power, it's harder to put it down, so you're out of the gas more. So to me, it becomes more of a driver thing when you have so much power, and especially you're on dirt and it gets slick. So why not? I'd rather have more, not less. I don't want it to be more about the car. I want it to be more about us, you know.
Absolutely. So that's a great example. Yeah, it should be all about the team and the person. And so I'll put that in perspective for maybe some non-racing people that might be watching along. What Brandon said is, you know, I have a 200 plus horsepower street car, which is what most people do here in the USA. So we're talking about 4 to 5 times the power of your average street car that's sitting out there. So put it into context for people, you know, that's a lot of get up and go, and
Yeah,
it's a lot of effort to stop it as well. So, you know, not that you ever want to stop it, you want to keep going. But
I'm gonna tell you one of the craziest things, and I can still see it in my head. The first time I ever went to 𝒑𝒊𝒏𝒕, Missouri, it was my 3rd race in a 410 sprint car, and I remember I went out for qualifying, and I was going down the front straightaway, and I could see my own vapor trail coming off the nose wing, and that was when I knew, like, this is fast. Like it was crazy. I'd never seen that before. And then I saw it again at Knoxville when we went there last year. I was like, wow, these things are monsters. They really are.
Yeah. So that vapor trail, let's liken that to a normal experience that most people have is you know, getting on an airplane, right? So when you take off from the airplane, you know, or when you're actually coming into land, that's kind of the speed you're doing to, again, give it some everyday.
It feels like an airplane.
Well, it's smaller than an airplane.
Yeah.
Equally as much.
A lot lighter too.
Yeah, much lighter. And the funny thing is our wings are meant to keep us on the ground, not get off the ground. So it's kind of, you know.
Yeah, they're an inverted delta, because delta wing, you know, a commercial or a small plane's designed to have a delta wing to make it lift, and your wing is to upside down to keep downforce, right? Yeah, so
keep it on the ground.
Keep it on the ground. Well, cool.
Yep, and we still somehow managed to get off the ground. You tell me how that works.
Well, usually to do with somebody else, right? Not you.
Yeah, well, trust me, you can do it on your own too. Like I've made my fair share of mistakes, and you know, and it's just like we were at our last race was in Jacksonville. I'm sorry, you can probably hear that ambulance going by.
That's right. They're just coming to pick you up.
We were at Jacksonville, Illinois, not long ago, and running our last race of the season. And man, it doesn't take anything. You can get half throttle on a good hooked up racetrack, especially the way you're geared on a short racetrack. It'll just rear right up. So that's why I'm saying I really don't. I disagree with the whole slowing us down thing. I'd much rather have all the horsepower in the world. I really want it to be left up to myself. So.
Absolutely. So it's like taming that bull, right? If you get a little lift on the front of you, you're hanging on for dear life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what makes it fun. We're crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it also is. That's what built sprint car racing, guys. I mean, that, you know, the sprint cars, much like, you know, old Indy cars, old Formula One, before all of the ground effects and aero and all of that stuck the cars to the track.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, sprint cars and midgets really haven't changed too much, in the sense that it is an untamed beast. You really do have to. And that's why, I mean, I tend to agree with Brandon. The more horsepower you have, the more you can control it. Yeah, they get to the point where they slow it down in such a way. Yeah. I mean, and
that's why when we talk about, I know this, we're not talking about NASCAR. So like NASCAR, the reason I have a problem with NASCAR right now is because they keep going down on horsepower, and they keep going up on this aero package where they have more and more downforce. And it takes so much out of the driver's hands. And that's why I haven't been a fan of what they're doing. I don't like it. I want to see them sideways. I want to see them, you know, I want to see them sideways coming out of turn 4 at Atlanta. I mean, why?
I think we got it back with the new car, the Cup car. I think we got that back.
I hope so. I hope this new car changes things, but I'm just man, we're drivers. We want to drive. I want to drive something hard.
Right. So I love that. I love that spirit. And so, you may or may not know Brandon, but part of why I love my passion for racing is that I extract learning lessons from, what racing car teams are doing and what managers and drivers are doing. And there's a lot of similarities. You can extract what I call fast tips. So you can look at what the driver and the team and all of the infrastructure, and basically you're exactly the same as a high performing team in business and industry. And a lot of people don't realize, if they just spend a little while watching, and it doesn't matter what category of racing, the principles are all the same. There's a team, there's a driver, there's a lot of mechanical things, and there's a lot of mechanical things that make stuff for us in industry and business. So real similar parallels. And what I love about what you said, it's all about the leadership that you take. I mean, you're going to do it safely, but you want to do it competitively, and that's exciting for American business.
I wouldn't want to strap in one of these things without having a full containment seat. I wouldn't want to, I want to do it, with some sense. I'm not saying I want to be silly, but yeah, that's one thing I love about what we do. It's raw. I don't know another word for it. It's just raw racing. It's as raw as it gets to me. But before coming to this interview, I didn't know you had anything to do with the Skip Barber School. That I've always been interested in that. I've gotten more interested in road course racing and stuff over the years. So I'm intrigued. I didn't know that you had anything to do with that.
Well, Tom and I conspired pretty good before thinking this through, right, Tom?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. So, so I had the joy of taking off at Road America after hitting the kink on the last straightaway, and I ended up in the pea gravel at the end of the straightaway there, and bounced back out. So I was extremely lucky, but under the Skip Barber plan, if you lose four wheels on the track, they red flag you automatically. So I got my way back to the pits, and the pro drivers were saying, and one guy said to me, "How the hell did you do that?" And I said, "What did I do?" He said, "I have never seen somebody go into the pea gravel and bounce back out of the pea gravel controlling the car." So,
that takes talent, man. That's talent.
Well, no, stupidity, because I dropped my left wheel off on the kink, like they tell you never to do at Road America. It was misty, so I paid the price. But and then when I got out of the car, of course, I had pea gravel everywhere you could think of, and I was getting rid of it for weeks and weeks. Not fun. It went all the way up my racing suit. It was everywhere. Unbelievable.
Man, that's me every week on a weekly basis, man. It's dirt gets everywhere. So, we deal with that all the time.
Well, I just want to say hi, Alexandra, who's she's actually an RN. So thanks for joining us, and she's a relatively new.
God bless you, Alexandra. Thank you for what you do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But and I'm actually going to be she's going to be live streaming with me. I can't remember the exact date because I've been lining up my schedule for the next 2.5 months here. So thanks for being on that plan with me, Alexandra, and we'll go from there. So when does the race? What's your first race, Brandon? What date is that?
Well, the plan is February 25th at Magnolia Motor Speedway. It's a World of Outlaw race for us. I will tell you the tendency of our weather in our area. We tend to lean more towards rainouts. So I would not be surprised if we get rained out, honestly. But
not gonna happen.
Of course, we can't plan for that. We got to plan to be ready. So
sure.
As of right now, the plan's February 25th at Magnolia, but like I said, weather gets kind of funny this time of year for us. So you can ask Tom, man. We had quite a few races last year scheduled, and man, we had probably 13 rainouts early.
Yeah.
And I didn't think we would ever get to the racetrack. So Yeah, it's kind of frustrating in our area, honestly.
It's not going to rain in February. I'm coming over there. It's going to
Yeah,
be 75 and sunshine in
if you
Mississippi.
drive all the way over here and get rained out, man, I'm so
Right.
sorry.
It's all your fault.
I know.
So Brandon, I'm sure a lot of people are curious about not only your health routine and your health plan, but what sort of fitness program do you have to undertake to be sharp and hang on to that 410 race car? Because it's a beast, right?
What are you laughing at, Tom?
Well, I'm laughing at the fact that now that you're a dad, you're probably getting a lot more exercise.
No, I'm getting a lot less sleep.
Right.
That's one
That
thing.
too.
That's not good for your health, guys.
No.
So I wasn't in the best of shape last year. I talked to Tom a little bit about this. We talk pretty regular on the phone, and so all I did was I started eating a lot better, and I used to run 20 miles a week. Used to do that pretty often, and I've been trying to get a little bit more back into that. But I started a new job in the Memphis area. It's called 𝒬𝒂𝒏𝒕, and we box and ship sodium cyanide. And so what we have to do is when we're unloading those cars, you have to get under the rail car and you have to hit it with a sledgehammer constantly to try to get it out, get the product out.
Right.
And so I get a pretty good workout in during the day at work. So that's one thing that keeps me going and keeps my muscles all good. But when I'm off work though, I usually try to go for a run, maybe 2 or 3 miles. Just try to do that, and just like I eat what I want to eat most of the time. I just don't eat as much.
Right.
I just try not to eat too much, and it works pretty good for me. But I'll tell you, the best way to stay in shape is what Tony Stewart calls race shape. If you're racing constantly, you're going to be in shape. I'm not in that. I can't really do that right now, but I will back that up and say when I did run about every weekend, that was the best way to stay in shape was racing constantly. So,
Sure.
but right now, slinging a sledgehammer during the day and running when I get home, that's my workout, and trying to eat decent.
So you're the personal agitator at the bottom of that rail car, then, right?
Absolutely. We have a big vibrator. It slides down the side of that hopper car, but nope, it's not going to work. You got to get that sledgehammer and go swinging.
Gets clogged up right in that little venturi right on the bottom of the car, right?
Yep, it'll stay clogged up down there in the bottom, and you got to knock it out.
Well, I just had a wild thought. Maybe, Tom, we can connect you up with that Alexandria, and she might have some wisdom, particularly for your guys. Well, it's so when we talked last time, Tom, our analogy is, if you can help your drivers become simpler, faster, better, and I can help, you or the drivers become simpler, faster, better, whether it be through connections or, just influence or, and that's
sure.
So we're all in the same game. My method is simpler, faster, better, and I'm sure Brandon would like to make his racing time simpler, definitely faster, and definitely better, because
you can never be too fast.
I like that spirit. I like that spirit.
Faster is better, for sure.
Right. So is the company you're working for now actually a co-sponsor for your car as well?
No, sir. We're our own sponsors. We're family owned, and we do everything on our own right now. And really always have. It's never been any other way. I don't really know any other way.
Right. So is that something that would be of interest to you, though? I'm sure it would be for Tom to help.
Absolutely. I would love to partner up.
All right. Well, cool. So
we've got some good opportunities.
Absolutely. I'm up for any opportunities.
Yeah. So how long have you worked for the company that has the rail car unloading?
Well, I just started working there in November. Before that, I was working for a company called 𝒑𝒂𝒓𝒔 Incorporated, and we built amphibious vehicles, and we sold them all over the world. A lot of them went to Vietnam, China, Japan, were
Right.
pretty big customers. Canada, so that was cool. That was pretty cool. But they do land and water, and they could climb just about anything. A lot of telephone companies and even Army.
Hmm.
There was a lot of places that would buy those things because they get anywhere that any
Right.
vehicle can't. So it was pretty cool. I did that, and growing up, my dad farmed. I told you that. So
Hmm.
I was really used to working around and driving heavy equipment. I was driving a 4955 John Deere when I was 5 years old, mowing cotton stalks.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I've always been driving something, but after the farming, we had a powder coat. We still have a powder coating business, so I do a
Hmm.
little bit of powder coating. I stay busy all the time, so
Sure.
there's never a dull moment.
So what types of things are you powder coating? Is it metal?
Yeah, pretty much. Anything that can cook at about 400 degrees and not melt,
Oh,
we can powder coat it. So I don't recommend wood. Wood does not powder coat well.
no.
Uh, but
Especially if it's electrostatic powder
yeah,
coater.
yeah, we tried doing some wood just to see what it would look like or how it would do. It doesn't work.
No.
But yeah, pretty much steel, aluminum, wrought iron, anything like fencing. We did a lot of fencing and lawn furniture, things like that. Race car frames, like racers here in the area, will do a lot of their car frames, stock cars, late models, sprint cars, mini sprints,
Awesome.
whatever. So we did a lot of that stuff too.
Yeah, so a little bit about this live is sometimes you don't know who's watching unless they comment, like Alexandria, and it will go up onto a couple of profiles, Brandon. So if people see this, I mean, or Tom, what specific areas of help might you be looking for?
Well, basically, motorsports is a very experiential sport. So the opportunity to work with Brandon really is the athletes, the drivers in motorsport have much more direct access to the fan base. And the type of racing that Brandon's doing this year in the series that he's racing with, the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series or the POWRi Sprint Car Series, or even the series that Tony Stewart has, the All-Star Series.
Right.
These are series that all have their own live streams, millions of viewers over the course of a season, very national in scope. And so these are the top dirt sprint car series in the world. And so we've got opportunities for companies to be with Brandon at the racetrack, be on the car, obviously be a part of our media that we do with Brandon, and even our video media that we have, which is worldwide, and we get millions of listeners a week for our shows that way. We've got a lot of different ways that we can directly put out a product or service to the racing audience and really help somebody grow their company.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
and the coolest thing about what we do too is that if you come to our races, if you don't buy a pit pass, and they're cheap, a pit pass is pretty cheap. If you compare it to other sports, I mean, they're so much cheaper, and you can walk right in after that race is over, and you can see any driver, you can touch the car. I'm guilty of, and maybe I do it too much, but I've had kids that want to come and just sit in the car, and I'm like, go ahead, come on, I'll help you in, whatever. So, I mean, they can meet us and hang out with us all they want. So that's the coolest thing is for us is, I mean, you can hang out with us and just talk with us, just like we know, just like friends every day.
Yeah, just
that's really that's the interesting perspective, Bruce. And you're a fan too, and you've been a participant. But you're not, if you go to the football game, you're not going to get up out of your seat in the middle of the stadium and just be able to go down to the sidelines and chat with Tom Brady. I mean, it doesn't work that way. You're in the locker room after the game. Racing is a sport that once you go see it in person and experience the energy and the excitement, the color and the sounds and all of that, and you start meeting the drivers, That's
Yeah.
where the business to business connection comes in. And race fans are 3 times as likely to support the companies that sponsor their sport than the fans of any other sport. That's a Wall Street study. And that's because race fans understand that without the sponsors, there is no sport. So there are a ton of different B2B and B2C opportunities. And we'd love to talk to some companies that might be interested in grassroots level sponsorship for Brandon, because this is a young man who's got an awful lot of talent. He went to Victory Lane last year. He's proven himself in the car. He just needs the opportunity to have the same resources that the big teams he's racing against in the World of Outlaws and the Power I Series have, so that he can go out and compete for wins.
Fans are super loyal. They're loyal.
They really are.
Even to their sponsors, like whoever. Okay, so for instance, Dale Jr. had the Budweiser sponsor for years. Okay,
Right.
if you wanted to drink beer, you were a Dale Jr. fan, you bought Budweiser. That was what you did.
Right.
When he got the Amp Energy drink sponsor, guess what? I didn't drink energy drinks, but you know what? I was a Dale Jr. fan, and I started buying Amp Energy drinks because it was Dale Jr. sponsor. It was my way of supporting Junior. And that goes for any of them. If I've ever liked a driver, I was a big Jimmy Johnson fan.
Mm-hmm.
I love Jimmy Johnson. I had a lot of respect for him, so I went to Lowe's.
Right.
I don't think about it at the time, but really and truly, that's how it works.
You bet. So I just want to give a shout. Anthony Reed is a loyal. Talking about loyal, he's a loyal supporter of mine on my live. So thanks for hopping on, Anthony.
Awesome.
And Tom, if you ever want to talk to Anthony, he has an amazing survival story, and he operates with also another great connection of mine. They have an organization called Kidney Trails, and they're actually working in adult on everything to do with kidney health and dialysis, diabetes, etc. So yeah, he's a great guy. I can't remember which city. I know he's more on Central or Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, feel free, Tom, to reach out to Alexandra or Anthony. And again, I can second what you say, Brandon. I already earlier this week, as soon as the IndyCar schedule got released, I bought my tickets for Texas Motor Speedway. That's always one that I go to. So
I love Texas.
Oh yeah, it's a great sort of tri-oval, and it's always a great indicator, because whatever happens at Texas normally pans out what's going to happen at Indy. So Indy,
super nice dirt track on the back straightaway, by the way.
There is, yes.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, right behind the big old Jumbotron there. Absolutely.
That's right.
All right. So if you're seeing this either live and you have connections that you can think of that might be a great connection for Tom, I know Brandon. I don't think you're on LinkedIn, right, Brandon?
Say that again.
I don't think you have a profile on LinkedIn, right?
I do have a profile. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, anyway, if somebody's seeing this and they want to learn more, they can either reach out to me or Tom. I know Tom's very active, and if you're seeing this as a replay, then by all means, if you have some ideas on how to support Brandon so that he becomes.
I will admit I haven't been very active on LinkedIn. I got one. It's been several years. I don't even remember when I did it. I've started to get a little more active on it recently. So
okay.
I'm easing back into it. So.
All right. Well, we need to get you ramped up and get you to be simpler, faster, better, because there's a hidden fan base here for racing, and
absolutely.
And so you never ever know. It's all about who you know more so than what you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Talent can do a lot for you, but it's all about who you know. I've heard that for years now, so that's very true.
Right. Well, we're trying to hook you up, and again, Tom, please reach out to the people that comment on this. And if it's okay with you, I'm going to do a little selfish outtake of my business. So just hang on, and I'll be back with you. Bye.
So, what if your processes do not work well? Did you know you can save or eliminate massive amounts of wasted steps, time, money, or other resources? Bruce can show or teach you how. Take the next step. Visit his website at processcleanup.com and book a casual yet confidential call with Bruce. It just might change your world forever.
All right. So see, even my logo rotates, like, you know. The car's going in the, huh?
Simpler, faster, better.
That's right, my
That's
friend.
right.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
right.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and thanks for those people that actively commented. And I'll get you everything, Tom, so that, and then tomorrow it will also stream on YouTube. So it'll be on
Awesome.
LinkedIn and YouTube. All right.
Sounds awesome.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna end the
Thank you
live.
for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. It was fun.
It was a
And
pleasure to meet you. And hey, talking racing, that's my favorite thing to do, other than race, you know?
yeah, that's
I
right.
love to
Hey,
talk.
yeah, well, make sure you get to the church on time tomorrow.